Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Stefan, the only honor I can think greater than receiving this honorary degree is to receive it from you. I have such love and respect for you and for the man you've become. You truly exemplify the values that you were clearly instilled on you here at Pepperdine. You know, I think back to the day I walked on the campus here, the beginning of your freshman year, and all the emotions of looking around and seeing all the smiling freshmen and looking at the hills and the beautiful campus and the ocean. And I was overcome with the emotion at that time as I looked at Stefan. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm spending $40,000 a year to send my kid to Club Med. What a great place, huh? I anchored the Today Show this morning from Burbank, and I was, by Twitter, communicating to my audience, my followers, that I'd be here today and asking if anybody had any advice and things they've heard at previous commencements that I might want to share with the class. And I heard some amazing bits of advice, but I think the most important, and I think the one that I want to leave with you, that I think will have the most impact on you today, someone tweeted to me, bring sunblock. So, hope that worked out. Anyway, in all seriousness, this is such a special place. I'm so proud to now share a small part of its legacy and to share this moment with all of you. To President Benton, Provost Tippins, with deep appreciation, I humbly accept this honor and thank you. To the candidates, members of the faculty, parents, friends, special guests, I extend my welcome and congratulations. And I thank my family for being here. Lester Sr., June Holt, my wife Carol, my future daughter-in-law, and Pepperdine alumna Morgan Gooch, who are my guests here today. Thank you for being here. Receiving this honor is humbling, but more than humbling, I have to admit it's improbable. Graduates, I'll just tell you right from the start here that I never made the walk that you're about to make to receive a college degree. I started working at a very early age. I was a DJ on the radio when I was in high school. I went to college, carried a bunch of units full-time, still working at the radio station, playing records, and eventually as a newsman. The career started taking off and exciting opportunities arose, so I skipped school short of graduation, left Sacramento and headed to San Francisco to chase my passion. I've rationalized all these years that my career itself, covering events around the world, interviewing important people, pounding the halls of power with microphone in hand, has been worth multiple college degrees and experiences. I won't diminish those experiences, for it's been an unmatched education, one that I wouldn't trade for anything. But let's face it, it's not this. It's not this for which you have all worked so hard these past 4 years, or maybe 5. 6, really? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, and I have to tell you, when I come to college commencement, sometimes I feel a sense of awe and even a little jealousy as I look out, but it's mostly with pride. So then what do I have to offer you? Well, maybe some advice on breaking the rules, or occasionally learning to drive against the traffic flow of life. And by the way, if you get pulled over by the CHP, I never said that. I can also tell you that hearing the word no is not always a bad thing. Having never asked the question, on the other hand, is. The first time I applied for a job at NBC in New York, I was 18 years old. Hey, who knew they didn't hire high school kids? Okay, I knew. But on the other hand, how many high school kids had the gall to ask? I still have the rejection letter, and every time I look at it, it never fails to bring a smile to my face. I look at it this way. It took them just 23 years to reconsider my application. You'll work for HR departments like that, trust me. You know, in some cases, it's going to take that kind of gall and confidence to stand out among the crowded field of job seekers in this environment. When this class started here, our economy was plunging into the depths of recession. And while you were busy studying here, the rules out there were changing, including a lot of rules about how one successfully enters the workforce. The course of our economy dictates that many of you will have to drive against the traffic flow of life to find your way. You'll need to tap your creativity, innovate, or draw on an unconventional roadmap to success. How and why the doors of opportunity open when they do and where they do has always been a mystery to me. In my case, persistence got me to the doorstep for those first couple of jobs. But when it came to the door actually swinging open for me, Well, the reality is luck and timing are always our best friends. It's not always about you. The one thing you can control, however, is whether you've got the goods to walk through the door when it cracks open, the skills and determination to embrace the challenge, to quickly learn the tasks, and to learn how to navigate the ladder for which there are rarely written instructions. On the other hand, when those doors don't open, they don't budge open at first, you'll need to find and draw from a deep reservoir of confidence within you to power on to the next step. And if necessary, the one after that, and the one after that. The changing rules also allow us to reimagine the definition of success. When I left school to focus on making it as a radio reporter, I didn't know where it was going to lead. As I said before, I was chasing a passion. Going into TV wasn't even on my radar. I wasn't thinking salary potential either, or even what my dream job really was. I just wanted to embrace the craft. All I knew was that I loved the news, and I wanted to be a part of it. For all of you who are graduating today, rightfully basking in your accomplishment, the world is already demanding of you an encore performance. It wants to know, well, now what? What's next? That's the conversation that is surely going to follow this ceremony over the brunch table, and the conversation that's probably consumed you over the better part of the last year. From here, the old rules dictate that you quickly step onto the track of upward mobility and not look back. Happiness, passion, and fulfillment are bonuses, but not requirements. Sometimes, however, in our single-minded pursuit of what's next, we fail to reflect on what now. You've all got smartphones, I assume, and I assume you might even be recording this right now. You are, of course, the generation of photojournalists. You're armed with smartphones, you're ready to capture any and all moment and upload it onto Facebook well before my colleagues and I get it on the air. You're also a generation that remembers every detail of what it was like the first time you crawled your little diapered butts across the living room floor. The day you took your first steps, or when you melted down on that first day of preschool. Not because your early memories were so sharp, but because you lived those moments through home video. So I'm curious to know if you're really going to remember this day, what it smelled like, what it looked like, the emotions and expressions on the faces around you, the sun beating onto your faces, how uncomfortable those shoes are you're wearing right now, or the hat on the person in front of you that's obstructing your view. Or are you going to remember it through video clips on a 3-inch screen on your iPhone? Are you living our reality through electronic viewfinders and 140 characters? Or are you taking it in with your God-given senses? You want reality programming? It's all around you. This is what's now. Absorb it now. Breathe it in. Take a pause. My point, of course, is not about the downside of making videos. I do that for a living. Say hi to Carlos, my cameraman there. My point is about making sure you don't miss the scenic pull-offs on life's journey just because someone's in your face constantly asking, come on, what's next? What are you going to do now? For more than 30 years, I've worked in this business, now anchoring and hosting 3 major network broadcasts, and I still get the questions. What's your dream job? What do you want to do next? As if what I'm doing now isn't good enough. I used to be able to tick off those jobs pretty quickly. Now my answer is, if this is as far as I ever get, it's really, really good. It's been an amazing career. And you know what? I could have said the same thing probably 4 jobs ago. Now, don't for a moment lower your expectations or ambitions, but don't let them consume you to the point you become indifferent to the journey itself, or to the extent that you fail to recognize how good you may have it at certain points along the way. If I had any regrets about my own career path, it would be those times I got so busy climbing the ladder, so eager to step up to the next rung, that I forgot to pause and turn around and appreciate the view around me. Those times I was so conditioned to look at life through a video frame that I didn't allow myself to soak in those things you can only really see with your own eyes. You know, at NBC Nightly News, we have a number of bright and talented college interns who work for us. They are absolutely essential to what we do every day. We love them to death. And we invite them, along the rest of the staff, to attend the daily editorial meetings where we go down the rundown of the day's news and what we're going to put on the air. Now, at the end of their internships, when they're ready to go back to school, we like to put them on the spot in those meetings by asking them the simple question, what have you learned? Tell me about your internship. What have you learned? And they have to speak in front of the whole group, and it's always entertaining and fun. And so in that spirit, And insomuch as I consider my 35 years in news my formal education, perhaps the time has finally come for my oral dissertation. So let me share with you briefly the most important things I've learned along the way as a journalist. Number one, when you strip away political and religious ideology, what unites us is a lot bigger than what divides us. I've traveled the world and much of the country and spoken to regular folks from Kabul to San Salvador, Beijing to Delhi, Tennessee to Malibu, California. And to a person, we all want the same things: to provide for our families, live unmolested in a safe environment, educate our kids, and be free. As you examine what's next and your own possibilities in life, I ask you to consider, aren't those the goals that we're all really chasing? So when people say what's next, it's not a bad answer. Number two, I've learned that we are an amazing, resilient species. I've witnessed the horrors of war and crime and countless natural calamities. And time again, I've marveled at how people who have lost virtually everything, their homes, their jobs, their communities, and their loved ones, manage to pick themselves up, put one foot in front of the other, and do what they have to do to carry on. The takeaway: you have no idea what you are capable of until you are truly tested. And number three, I've learned that we have to meet each other halfway. Every conflict I've ever covered has at its root the fact that no one is really listening. The measure of a good journalist is often the toughness of our questions. But what I've come to know is that in life, it's not always the questions we ask, but rather our ability to hear the answers that truly enriches our understanding. In conclusion, let me express my sincere hope that as you head down your career path, pursuing your passion and your fulfillment, that it proves to be a deep, enriching, and lasting education. Never stop learning. You'll graduate from here today, but in life, class is never really dismissed. So class of 2012, thank you for your kind attention. Thank you for letting me be a part of your class, even in an honorary status. Congratulations, and may God bless you and keep you. Thank you.